time for the win and play portion. You have the choice to go principal, parent, and teacher.
Okay.
And you can do 3 for each, or you can pick one of them and give 5 win and plays.
Okay.
So which one do you want to go with?
I'm going to go with 5
Okay.
winning plays
For
principals.
Which
is ironic because I'm only an assistant principal.
No, that's great though. That's great.
Okay,
That's
let's see
great.
if I can come up with 5.
No one's done that yet, so here we go. Here we go.
So my first winning play would be don't take it personal.
Okay.
And whether that's, I have a large staff here. We have like 86 staff members, not teachers, but when you include all your paras and your cafeteria and your daycare and all that, there's not a single decision that I can make that's going to make all 86 of them happy. Yeah. Someone's going to be unhappy with whatever decision I make. And they might say it to my face. They might keep it quiet. They might talk about it behind my back.
Right.
However I hear about them being unhappy, don't take it personal. As long as you know that you made the best decision possible in the moment, with all the information that you had. If you made a bad decision, take it personal. Yeah. But if you really came and did your work and this is the best option that you had, don't take it personal. Yeah. If people are upset with you, whether that's staff or parents or students or whoever it is that's upset with you, don't take it personal, as long as you did the best that you could do.
That's good.
The second winning play I would give is have fun. We this year did a school-wide event called Rock Your School. It's in September, where every grade level transformed their hallway. We had Candyland, we had a 50s diner, we had glow parties, we had a Nintendo World.
Wow.
And
sounds like a lot of fun.
It was a ton of fun. I mean, I had on a pink wig. My principal had on a wig and a mustache where people didn't even know it was him. And we just had a great time with the kids. And kids went home that day still learning, but they went home and we're talking about what a great day they had, the best day ever. Nice. So have fun. Don't be afraid to have fun.
That was a week long.
That
was one day.
One day.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't have done it for a week. I'd have been worn out. I had one day and I was tired of that. So sometimes it can feel like we have so much on our plate that the fun has to go away. Don't let the fun go away. So have fun. The third thing would be never forget what precious commodities you're in charge of. I mean, we are in charge from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. of other people's children. Yeah. And there's nothing more precious than that. So remember that as you're making your decisions. Remember that as you're deciding how much effort you put into something. Remember that as you go throughout your day that you are responsible for people's most prized possessions and that they trust you to be responsible for them.
Yeah, that's good.
The third thing I would say, fourth thing, I did 3. I'm on number 4. Number 4 is go into every situation, dealing with a student situation that you would want to handle if it was your child. That could kind of really frame some things. If I will say I became a much better teacher when I had school-age children, because I could see both sides of it then. Yeah. And things when I was a teacher when I didn't have kids, and I was like, what is that parent upset about? It's not a big deal.
Right.
When your kid comes home and is crying, I had to be on Gallo today, you realize it is a big deal. So treat every situation as you would want it treated if it was your child who was in that situation. Don't blow things off just because you don't think it's important. It's important to the kids, it's important to us. Yeah. So treat it like you would want your child to be treated. And number 5, I learned this from one of my principals that I've worked with, and I go into everything. Remember when you're making a decision that if you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So if you're making your master schedule, and you tell one group, yes, you can have your plan at this time, you're saying no to another group on something that they might want in their schedule. So just make sure you're thinking through when you say yes to something, what is it that I'm saying no to? Right.
So, no, that's good.
5.
This is fly, by the way.
I appreciate that.
You hear me?
I appreciate that.
You see what I'm on? You see what type of time I'm on? Ooh. My dilemma, let me say this before I pick. Okay. My dilemma is...
And you could have mentioned it earlier. It could have been something you already said.
Yeah, I know.
Because you've been dropping diamonds the whole time.
Appreciate you, man. I think I want to do parents. I just got to want to give
Parents,
5. And I'm going to tell you why. Can I explain why?
Sure. Nah, we can't have you tell why. No,
I can't
I'm just
tell
kidding.
why?
I'm just messing. Yeah, go ahead.
No,
go
because
ahead,
I really
tell
want to do
why.
principals.
Yeah.
You said principals and
Principals or teachers or parents.
I really want to do all 3 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really want to do all 3 of them. You get the book, teamrelentless.net, 10 Ways to Be Relentless is on there. All 3 of y'all go get it. But I want to do the parents because I really feel like if we're going to bridge the gap, if we're going to make a difference, if we're going to really be an influence, we have to start addressing parents. Because the game is, I'm with your child for 8 hours during the day, but guess what? They go home.
Right.
Now they can almost unlearn and all the stuff that we've been talking about, all the rules and all this other type of stuff.
Right.
So it's going to have to be all inclusive to everybody to really kind of one team.
Yeah.
I live by the principle, there's no I in team, but great individuals make great teams. So the focus has to be on elevating individuals in order for the team to be elevated.
Yeah.
And I think the parenting piece is the last piece that we really got to give focus to elevate this thing. So I'm just going to do the parents.
That's good. All right.
I'm going to do the parents.
So 5 for
5
the
winning
parents.
plays. Number 1, talk to your kids. Talk to your kids. I'm not talking about, let me get focused. I'm not talking about how you were talked to as a child, but I'm talking about talk to your kids. I'm talking about learn the language of the day.
Yeah.
Learn that slang. Learn that stuff. Learn the slang. Learn it because they may be talking about some stuff right in front of you,
And you have no idea.
right
what
over
they
your
talking
head that you don't even know nothing about.
That's
That shows interest, right?
about. Right.
That shows care. The old adage of people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. That learn how to talk to your kids, and that's one. I could have put these 2 together, but then 2 is learn how to listen to your kids.
That is good. That's good.
Learn how to listen to your kids. I can't tell you how many times I got to kick kids out of my room because that's what they want to do. Come down and talk to me.
Yeah.
Because what Mr. McIntosh is gonna do is I'm gonna sit here and listen. I'm gonna make you laugh, and I'm you know what I mean. But I'm gonna sit here and listen.
I'ma hear what
and
you
guess
got
what?
to
The
say.
next day, you tell me about this little boy, this little girl you like. I done listened to you. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna ask you about it because I was listening.
Right.
Talk to your kids. Listen to your kids.
Number 3.
I'm on number 3. I would say have healthy communication with your school. Don't just communicate with your school when your child is in trouble.
Right. Oh, it's turn up time.
Don't do that.
Going
Have
down to
healthy
the school.
communication.
That's good.
Because what the school has the information, but the parents has the insight. And if we working against each other, we're not gonna get nothing done. But if the parents give these principals and teachers insight of what's going on, see, those are all those extrinsic things that I was talking about.
Yeah.
So now if I give the educator the extrinsic game of what's really going on with my child, now you might approach my child different in the day.
Yep.
Now these are young people, right? So how many kids I got talking to me talking about, well, I don't like this class, Mr. McIntosh, because I don't like the teacher. You know what I say? I say, man, that's goofy because you don't need to like the teacher in order to like the work.
Right.
Now I got to come say this, like, you know what I'm saying? And but that really should be coming from the parent.
Right.
That's not even a real thing for you to like the teacher. And so have a healthy communication with your school.
That's good. Number 4.
Number 4, winning plays for the parent. When it comes to mistakes, kids doing wrong things, don't always let the consequence be the same.
That's good.
Can I talk how I want to talk?
Yeah, go ahead. You at home, go ahead.
Everything is not a whooping. Everything is not me putting my hands on you. I know I'm just talking to parents, but this I hope that the school's listening too. Everything is not always a suspension.
Right.
That's for real. We suspend you, we whoop you. That does not mean it changes the behavior.
Right.
That don't mean it changed the behavior. That means I made you feel. I gave you something to think about. Your mom would say, I'm gonna give you something to think about.
Right.
But don't be lazy with that.
Yeah.
Number 5, what would I say number 5 is? Learn to, at every level of life with your children, to make sure you're having fun with them. They need to see
good.
you having fun.
That's
I know what y'all gonna say. No, you're not their friend. You can continue to carry that narrative, but I want my son to be able to talk to me about whatever.
Right.
And I'm not talking about whatever like before it happened. I'm talking about maybe he done did something that he knows I'm gonna be mad at, but he still feels comfortable to talk to me about something that he done did.
Right.
And that comes with, not everything is, you don't just talking to you just when I'm mad. But when we having fun.
Right.
When we swimming, I'm playing, playing a video game with you.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. we talking about sneakers that you're into, all this other type of stuff that I'm constantly engaging you and you don't even know it.
Right.
So that would be
good.
the 5.
That's
Don't ask me
good,
to repeat
man.
those. I hope y'all got that.
How you talk to them, how you listen to
listen.
them, how you communicate with the school. What was 4 was not having the same exact discipline for situations.
Yep.
Mix it up. That's
Mix it
good. And last but not least, make sure you have fun with them.
Make sure you have fun with them.
I had your back.
Appreciate you, bro.
Are your students lacking confidence? How's their decision making in the school? What about their effort in the classroom? Are they giving it all that they really, really have? Well, these are things that, as a national youth speaker and author, I address in school buildings. If you are dealing with any of these issues and you would like to have a fun, exciting, full of energy presentation, assembly, don't hesitate to reach out. My website is SeanGary.com. How they think about their next choices will be different. Go ahead and book a discovery call with me, which we simply have a conversation about what their challenges are, what their needs are, and then I can share with you what I would say, do, what talks that I have that address those areas, and also what an assembly would look like. And yes, I'm pretty much there the whole day. All right, thanks a lot. Now back to the episode. So A or B?
All right, I'm gonna take B. 5 plays for one group. And I would use. That's a good one, Sean. I'm gonna use principles.
Okay.
I'm gonna use principles.
Nice.
I'm gonna use principles.
All right, so principles. Listen up.
Principles. All right, so principles. Here's one play I would definitely tell you. Definitely get to know your team. I think a lot of times as leaders, we don't get to know our team as well, understand their behaviors, understand their whys, understand what's motivating them. So number 1, get to know your team. 2, understand that the success of the school is built on the lid of your leadership. Meaning that wherever you capped at, whatever the school is at, is a reflection of you, right? And who you are working through, which is your staff. So let us help raise your lid, and that usually comes with awareness. 3, have fun. I think the job that you got is so awesome, and it's so realistic of a job. And when I say realistic, meaning that you see these kids tangibly. Have fun. Make education fun again. Figure out a way to make it fun for your staff so they can make it fun for their students.
Nice one.
Was it where we on 4?
Yep, 4 and 5 left.
4 and 5. Oh man.
Doing real good.
Yeah, I know, right? I was trying to line it all up, man. I don't know where I'm gonna go with this. So these last 2 might be a little iffy, but you got the first 3. You got them. They were fire too.
Right.
Last 2, I would say, God, Sean, 5. 5. Can I switch it and be like, let me give 2 to the parents?
What? Yeah, go ahead.
All right,
well,
see?
if you're gonna switch it, give me 3 then.
All right, 3 for the parents then. All right, cool. Woo. Parents, get to know your kids. We think we know our kids. We don't know our kids. We don't know why they do some of the things that they do. And what I mean by that is that assessment, again, helped me to understand some things about my daughter and why we were butting heads on some things. She's built very similar to me, but I couldn't put a finger on what it was. So get to know your kids. 2, if you don't know information, reach out to your community. And reach out to people who are outside of your community to teach your kids. Don't be afraid to be like, look, I don't know about anything about interviewing skills. Hey, can you help me with interviewing skills? So reach out, create your network so that your kid can have a bigger network and so that they can get bigger information.
That's good. Before you get a last one, I think a great place to go when you're trying to find the winning plays for your students or your principals or anybody would be the Win and Play podcast right here. Come to this podcast and check out all the guests we have, all the interviews, all the tutors and the mentors and the principals and the teachers and the training and everybody who's helping pour into elevating the students. That's what we're here for. So this is one place you can come to get information. All right, last
That's why you
not
need to
least,
like and subscribe.
like and subscribe. That's right.
All right, last bit of information for parents. Welcome technology.
Ooh, that's a good one.
For a lot of times, we're trying to push it away, and I'm looking at some things differently in my home. Technology is not bad; it's just how we manage it. So, welcome technology in. Figure out ways to be able to use it to help educate your kid, help grow them, help develop them, and then that you don't have as much as the fight in the crib. So, if you can do that, we're good to go.
That's good. So, which
Guess I'll
one would
do,
you like to do?
Maybe parents.
Parents?
Because I'm a parent and I've struggled at times. You know?
Perfect.
So,
All right. What are your winning plays?
well, let's see. First off, no parent's perfect. And I myself have done that. But I would say listen to your kids. I know with me, I tend to be on my phone a lot. And that's I'm trying to break that habit of being on Facebook and doing this. And it's hard because, you get on there and you just get in like a rabbit hole of doing it. And I have a 6th grader and I have a junior, I'm going to be a senior. So I think it's important to listen to your kids when they're speaking to you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, it's boring. Yeah. You don't want to listen. Sometimes it's,
I really don't care about the Power Rangers.
Or with me, I've been with kids all day. I get home and I want to relax. But I think it's important to ask your kids how their day has gone and really listen. Because my son that's 17, he does not talk much. Okay. So the little amount of time I can ask him, how was your day? Yeah. He'll just say, good. We used to have him like 3 things. Tell me 3 things about your day. Yeah. And he would really struggle to tell us just 3 things. 3 things. And I'm like, you've been at school lunch all day. I'm sure there's 3. And then my younger son, he'll talk and talk and talk.
Yeah.
Complete opposite. But I say listen, Okay. And another one, encourage them to do their best.
Okay. Number 2 is encourage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I would say sometimes kids get kind of down on themselves. You can see it, getting down on themselves. And I think you should always encourage them to just try their best. Yeah. Even if, I know my sons sometimes struggle with certain things. And my younger one he doesn't like when things don't go. He's, very smart. So if he would get a bad grade, it's the end of the world. But I always encourage him that you have to keep trying. It's fine. To get 1 bad grade is fine. And your kids need to know they can't be perfect too, Yeah. So let's think, what else could I tell parents?
Before 3, I just want to say to everybody that's watching, please go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, do all the YouTube-y stuff to get the algorithm to recognize this is something that's worth tuning into. So hit the like and share. Okay. That's
right.
So you got 3 more.
Let's see, what else could I come up with here, parents? Patience.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Because, sometimes it's hard to have that patience with your own child and at school, with teachers too. It's hard. Advice for teachers too. Yeah. Remember to have patience, especially as the school year is coming to an end and it's usually crazy. But the kids are also, your own personal kids are struggling too right now. So you got to remember to have patience at all times.
That's good. Okay. Number 3 is patience.
Yeah. And another one is, so kids learn by example.
Okay.
So make sure you're being the example.
It's getting good. It's a good one right
here. It is
a
good.
Woo.
So for me, I don't drink. I don't do things like that because before my oldest son was born, I did party and I did do things like that. Then after he was born, I still wasn't, there, But then we started coming to this church, actually, when he was about 3. Nice. So we've been here a long time. He's 17. But one thing I learned from coming to church and being here is watching people, like our pastor with their kids and how,
Nice.
And lead by being an example to them.
For sure.
And then I started helping on Wednesday nights with our children's ministry. And we would go out and sometimes we would see kids. Yeah. At Los Bravos or places. And I thought, wait, how does that look if they see me sitting here drinking when I'm at school or I'm at church telling them live for God and be an example, So I feel like we should always be an example and a light to our kids, and
That's
you
really
know,
good because
yeah,
they're watching, man.
they're
are
always
for
watching.
Sure watching. They're watching.
They're always
They say
listening.
and they
They're
try to
always
say,
watching.
"Do as I say, not as I do." That's a saying that's out there, and it's like, no, they're going to do what you do.
Yep,
You can
it's
say
hard,
that
you
all
know.
day long, but they're watching what you're
And
doing.
I slip up and I do things I probably shouldn't say in front of my kids or do things, but they are always watching. And if you want your kids to grow up and be, you know, respectful, you need to be respectful too and treat people, you know.
All right, last one. I think this the last one.
Let's see. Yeah, this is harder now.
Four was setting an example, watching what you do.
Let's see, be patient, encourage them, be an example, listen.
What's something
else they can do to? I don't know. I guess respect your kids too, because you do see people, you know, like parents. The way sometimes I see it in the mornings when they're getting out of the cars, you know, like you can tell the parents that are have a good day, you know, just respecting their kids, and then sometimes the kids just get out and they look so down and sad. And start every day a good day, even if you've had a bad night. Let it go. I would say let things go. Like for instance, my son yesterday, it was a disaster because he broke a bowl on accident before I got home. And my older son called, and my younger one was a mess. He was so give them a little. I would say give them grace. Give your own kids a little grace, because we all need that in life. Like I know I need that too sometimes at work or school is given. And I think he thought the world was ending because he broke that bowl. And I could have went into it like, why did you break that bowl? But instead, I had a different, thought process, and I had to take a moment to think before I spoke myself and just tell him, it's not the end of the world.
I think that will also help in the future when he messes something up or does something wrong. He's not going to have this memory of, well, the last time I did something wrong, I got yelled at or
freaked
whatever.
Out on me,
like, no, let me tell, because it's not that bad to share when stuff goes bad. So let me share. But that's
I would say before we got into church and before I just really understood, the world really, even at 30 years old, I still don't understand the world sometimes. But it was hard, sometimes I did react to my own kids in ways I maybe shouldn't have. Like, I can't believe you would, why would you do that? So now as they've gotten older and I'm getting older, I have learned show them grace too, because they are little adults. Like they're little, they're people too with feelings, big feelings, and
So I just want to let everybody watching know that you gave them an extra one.
I just keep going. I'm sorry.
So it's all good. You guys got the grace.
I like to talk. Can you tell?
You did good. You did amazing.
I'm gonna go with A.
A. All right. So 3 each. All right. Principles. Let's start with the principles. What are the 3 winning plays you have for them?
I would say connecting with families, not just children. I would say making sure that your face is seen and that people know who is the principal, not just on paper. And also making sure that while I know it has to be so heavy, the weight of an entire school on you, maybe going back to your roots and always remember why you started with your passion of what brought you there.
And for some, that might be money. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. No, I'm playing. All right. So that's 3 for the principals. All right. What you got we're going to finish with parents last. What do you have for the teachers?
For the teachers, again, connecting with families. I think it's so important for parents to know who their children are going to be spending their days with. And that also builds a trust with the child whenever they know that there's a trust with their parent, with that teacher. 2, I would say have fun. I know our teachers have always been wonderful, and my daughter always tells me how much fun she has. I think if the fun's out of it, those kids aren't receptive to learning, and they're not taking anything with them because they want to have fun too. But 3, teachers are amazing. They're doing such a wonderful job, and they have so much carried on them, and making sure that again they're remembering why they started, but making sure that they have maybe somebody to always a partner with them, like to always touch base with. I know for me in Sunday school, I have my little group of people that we bring the situations to, and we say, hey, what would you do? To have those people to lean on and communicate with too.
Right, right. And then sometimes to vent to, like,
Yes, exactly. Yes.
kid over here, boy, he was just chewing on my ankle, and I was like, "Get off me."
Right. Yes. To have your people. Yes.
No, that's cool. All right, last but not least, the parents. What do you have for parents? 3 winning plays for parents.
Yes. Okay. Demonstrate what you tell your kids. So if you're telling your kids be nice to others, don't be gossiping, say please and thank you, make sure you're demonstrating that to your children from you, because children learn by what they're taught and what they see.
That's good.
Also I would say monitoring. I know it's so easy to give a screen to our kids and have that free babysitter while we're doing whatever we want, but monitor your kids, monitor their programs, limit their screen time. I always tell my kids whenever they get upset, whenever I'm like, all right, it's time to get off your tablets, I'm like, one day you're going to thank me, because whenever you're older and you're thinking of memories as a kid, you're not going to think of what you watched on a screen. You're going to think of playing or doing a puzzle or whatever. So I would say definitely monitoring and make your kids get off their screens.
Good.
And lastly, affirmations. Every single morning,
Powerful.
I have all of my kids, all 3 of them, say affirmations about themselves, and they have to do it separate. And they have to say they're pretty, they're kind, they're full of God's love, they're smart. And sometimes I'll be like, okay, guys, do your affirmations. And they'll be like, I'm kind, I'm smart. And I'm like, no, you better believe this. Like, that is not, it's not just to say it while we're doing it.
Right.
We're saying it because we believe it. And I'm like, be nice to yourself. And I tell them every single day, you be nice to yourself, and you be nice to do one nice thing for one person today. And so I think just making sure your children know their self-worth, but not just from you, from their own perspective, is so important.
Yeah, man, that's good. That's really, really good. Please add your comments, like, subscribe, share with others so that they can also be a part of the Winning Squad, and tune in to the Win and Play podcast with Sean Gary. So that's all I have. Hey, it's your boy, Sean Gary, and I'm out. Peace.